It's Sylvia, and today I have Dan of Architects on Zoom with me today. Thank you so much for taking the time to hop on here.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, before we dive into anything, of course, Architects is going to be out at House of Blues tomorrow night. Do you have any rituals, like anything that you do to prep before you go on stage?
Well, we've all got our like warm-up routines, but mostly it's like trying to relax and not stress or tense up about the what's coming next. The more we think about it, the worse we perform. So
Sure.
the longer we do this, the more we think about this stuff. We used to just sort of go up and just see what happened, but these days we're always trying to find ways to improve our performance, and be the best that we can now that we
Yeah.
realize that this isn't just us having fun, this isn't just a hobby.
It's
It's our
actually a job
livelihood.
now.
So yeah, so we're very invested in making sure that we're actually the best version of architects that we can be.
Yeah, isn't that weird just aging? That like when you're in your 20s and late teens, you're like, "Oh, this is, whatever. This is fine. We
Yeah,
can just
yeah,
go out." And then you're getting, late 30s, mid 30s and you're like, "I should probably probably take this
yeah,
serious."
exactly. Now it's like a competition who can get into bed first.
Did you ever imagine that when you guys first started out that would be
No,
where you're at now?
no, we used to stay up drinking until 7 a.m. and then wake up at
Mhm.
4 in the afternoon. And now most of us don't drink at all. So yeah, it's been an evolution.
Yeah. So you guys played a show last night in Reno, our rivals in college football. Um, how, how is it getting to, kick off the North American tour?
Yeah, great. I mean, it's always just like an adventure for us. The ever since the first time we came to the States many years ago, it's always felt like the final frontier for us. And there's this sort of weird feeling that although obviously we've grown much more familiar with the place, having come back so many times, there's still this feeling that you've been dropped in an alien planet. And there's something like exotic to British people. I mean, I'm sure Americans feel the same when they get dropped in
Yeah.
Paris or London or whatever. But for us, it feels like we're fishes out of water, but it's a good adventure for us.
Yeah. So you're in Vegas now. Um, do you get to enjoy Vegas a little bit? Are you going to get to enjoy Vegas today because, the show is tomorrow, or do you guys just
Yeah.
go, in and out pretty much?
No, no, we got in this morning and we headed straight out and went to some areas that I don't know the name of. Some very nice and quiet, and
Sure.
some very tacky and loud.
Oh,
So
it's the
sort of
best.
seeing all sides of it. Because yeah, I mean it's a novelty to most people that visit this place, but we're from sort of quiet, quaint little villages in England, so this is like I said, really like an alien planet.
It's a
So we
little
do like
overwhelming.
to, yeah, but it's cool to check out and see what's going on.
And then later this year, you're going to be out with Corn. You're going to be doing some
Yeah,
European tours. How did that pairing come about? Have you met them before?
no, never met them, but yeah, they asked us to go out with them, and we said yes. So yeah, we've never met them. Looking forward to meeting them. I saw Corn in London when I was probably 16 or
Mhm.
15, maybe like real young. So yeah, it's fun. We've had a few experiences like that now. I suppose we've done shows with Metallica and with Linkin Park. Bands that we used to watch on TV when we were kids. So it's been one of the cool things doing this band that we've managed to sort of find ourselves in. That world that didn't seem real when we were just kids.
Yeah, well, like it's I think it's such a weird because like I have that kind of feeling when I'm talking to like I just spoke with Amy Lee over
Hmm.
the weekend at Sick New World Fest, and I remember seeing her, I was in high school and I was watching her music videos, and you think that like when am I ever going to talk to them, Is it like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
when you're getting to perform with Metallica or Linkin Park or
yeah.
with
Yeah.
Korn?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's when James Hetfield or Lars Ulrich walks in your dressing room. It's a strange experience for sure. Yeah, I mean, these people like they're like Marvel superheroes when you're 16, you know. So
Yeah.
they always stay that way in your mind a little bit, and yeah, it's definitely really cool. And the funny thing is, you start to look back and you realize that oh, when I was, you know, like in Metallica's case, I remember what listening to them when I was like 18, and then now I'm their age. I'm the age that they were. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? I'm now
Yeah.
the age that they were when I was watching them then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, and yeah, I mean, like Amy Lee's a funny example because she was so young when they released that first Evanescence record that you
Hmm.
meet her now and you're like, you're not old. You know what I mean? Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? She seems like such a long time has passed. It's like you're not even old. Wow.
No, she's still, I think she said she was in her
Yeah.
mid 40s, and I'm like, that's nothing,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
totally. It's cool to see, actually.
So we need about your album, the 11th album, The Sky, the Earth, and all between. It's a little over a year old, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. Just the 11th album.
Um, what's what's that year been like for you? Can you do like a little recap? Like it, how has it been like?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been good. We were here in the States for 6 weeks last summer, and we played a bunch of stadiums in Europe with Linkin Park. And then we went out and headlined a bunch of arenas in Europe. We've been to Australia, and then we went back to Europe, and now we're back in the States. So we've covered like a lot of ground over the last year. But we're very fortunate, that we have this strange career path, strange trajectory where our 11th album can be our biggest album. You don't see that too often, so we're super grateful that we keep on managing to move forward and keep progressing and keep growing. Because yeah, I think when we first started recording our first few albums, there was a feeling that if we didn't crack it on our first few, then it would never happen. But we're definitely it's definitely the case for us
Mhm.
that you can break the mold and really you're only as popular or only as successful as your last album, and there's no like limit.
Yeah.
Our ninth album went to number one in the UK, and none of the other albums have got close to that. So yeah, we're very grateful that we've managed to make it work.
Yeah. Is it surreal knowing that it's the 11th album?
Yeah, I don't like to think about it. I don't like to think about it. The truth is, our first five albums were really us figuring. I mean, we're still figuring it out, but we really were like growing in public and learning how to be a band and learning how to write songs in front of everyone for those first five albums. And we were definitely slow to figure it out and late bloomers, I think, creatively. So you take away the first five records that this band's done, and we're in exactly the same place today. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was really 6 albums ago in 2014 we released an album that really sort of signified the beginning of the band, really, in terms of like it being known.
Yeah. So I wanted to point out something. You said that this 11th album, was a successful one. You actually have a video on your Instagram. Uh, there was an interesting quote where it said, "To be having the most successful album at this point in our career, it's not something that we take lightly." What do you
Yeah,
think made this album, successful as opposed to, previous ones?
we just had an understanding of what we were very very focused before the album, and I think we just hit an age and a point in our lives where we thought, okay, what do we want this band to achieve? Like, are we willing to do what it takes to get there? And we had written a couple of songs that had been big songs for us, and we kind of realized that there was this bar that we needed to reach that we hadn't always been reaching before. And we, had perhaps been, just writing songs and feeling, well, that's cool, let's put it out. And then the focus shifted where we became more um, just honest with ourselves about was the song good enough? How can we make it better? Is this really going to push the band forward? And so that's sort of the change of attitude that will carry forward from this album. Really, um, yeah, but our attitude just changed. I think there was a feeling that we hadn't entirely reached our potential as a band, and we
Mhm.
thought, okay, come on, it's about time we reached it.
Yeah. And I want to bring up the remixes of Broken
Mhm.
Mirror and Everything Ends. What drew you to do those mixes, particularly those two songs?
Well, they're the most melodic, and I don't love putting screaming into remix stuff. It just
Yeah,
doesn't kind of fit.
sure.
So they just had like the most melodic content to work with, and I had been like doing little remixes for Instagram, for videos from tour that we are posting out, but just like I would do like a 30-second thing, just quickly
Hmm.
using the stems from a song, but then the label asked me if I would do some full songs instead of just little bits because they felt
Yeah.
that they were worth people hearing. So yeah, I I just did those two. But yeah, it's something I will probably do more of in the future and moving forward. It's an interesting one because it's like very out of the it's not really what our fans are after
Mhm.
mostly. It appeals to a different audience, but it's just a fun creative thing to do, and if some people like it then cool.
Yeah. Does it make you want to do more of it, like kind of explore doing more remixes and seeing like how creative you can
Yeah.
go with them?
Yeah, 100%. And then you learn things by doing, it's a different creative muscle to writing a typical Architect song, so it makes you just see things from a different angle. And sometimes, I'm not saying I achieved this with those songs, but you can have like a vocal melody and then you change the sort of harmonic content behind it, and it change it into something totally different.
Hmm.
And in some cases it can make something better than it was. So even when you're writing a song, it makes you think about, well, we've got this is a great melody, but maybe it would be cool if we changed it. It just helps you see things
Yeah.
from a different angle.
Yeah. Before I let you go and let you carry on exploring Vegas a little bit, I usually do a little quick round of like lightning questions, like rapid fire questions. So, are you
Mhm.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe in fate?
Oh, supposed to be rapid fire. No,
No,
I
okay.
don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. You seem a little hesitant on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agnostic on that one. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. What's the best age?
Best age?
Best age.
Ah, man. Again, I mean, your 20s are obviously good
Mm-hmm.
because you have freedom and less responsibility, and then you get into your 30s and there's more pressure to set up your life,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But you know what? I would say I've enjoyed my 30s actually, rather probably more than my 20s. I think it's been, yeah, my 30s have been good. So I'm gonna say 30s,
30s.
but
You know what? I have to
I'm hoping 40s are good. I'm hoping the 40s are great.
or even better. I would have to agree with you because I feel like yeah, the 20s, like you're an adult and you got money and you can have all this freedom. But like the 30s, like you're more like you got your confidence and everything seems to like
Yeah,
start falling into to place. I feel like the
yeah, I'm
20s,
more.
you're like your teens 2.0.
Yeah, yeah, you're more sure of yourself in your 30s. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. All right,
yeah.
rock star life as you imagined it or versus what it actually is.
Which would I rather?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that you make of it exactly what you want it to be. Like well, our rock star life is not drunkenness and debauchery, as I've alluded to. We're all in a race to get to bed. I will say that I think have done this for a long time, and only had real success in the last sort of 5 or 6 years. But I will say that I love getting to do this, and we might moan sometimes about some of the
Sure.
travel can be tough, and sometimes you're
Yeah.
tired, but overall, we just get that it's, it's a small price to pay for an amazing job, and I wouldn't, put it like this, I wouldn't trade this, what I do, for anything else in the world.
Awesome. All right. So giving presents or getting presents?
Uh, I'm gonna say getting presents. Which is like the worst answer.
No, 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 no.
But
Because
my my
who
wife
doesn't
my
like
wife
giving?
is my wife loves giving presents. I love getting presents, and I'm just like not good at giving presents, which just doesn't reflect well on me. But it's like a neurological condition. There's nothing I can do about it.
Just accept it. You get you
Yeah.
get you get gifts. That's fine. Invisibility or super strength?
Uh, uh, Super strength. I'm gonna go for super strength.
Okay. All right. And lastly, what has been being in architects, what has it taught you about yourself that you didn't expect?
That you can achieve whatever you want as long as you believe you can achieve it, which is such a corny sounding thing, but it's kind of something that I've found, discovered to be true through doing this band. We've
No.
only ever achieved what we believed we could achieve.
Yeah. No, not
Yeah.
corny at all. That's actually perfect.
Good.
So, so thank you so much, Dan, for taking the time to hop on Zoom with me. Don't forget, House of Blues tomorrow night. Architects is performing, and we can't wait to see you.
Great. Can't wait to see you. Thank you very much for having me.